Hi, welcome to this 60-minute workout. It's the pregnancy workout for week 3. And this one, equipment that you'll need is a ball. Mine is 65 centimeters, which is the right size for me to be sitting on it and to have my knees and hips at 90 degrees. And we're also doing some theraband workout today. And we're going to do theraband both around our legs and in our hands. So I've actually got, instead of 2 pieces of theraband like this, I've got one theraband, green strength, and one like booty band type thing around my knees. But you can tie a piece of theraband around your knees, or you don't have to use one because it does definitely intensify the glute and the glute workout when you've got the band around your knees. So we're going to start with the leg workout as a warm-up. So if you want to put the band around your knees, set it up now. Get to your mat, put the ball to the side. The first movement in this cardio leg strength warm-up sequence is a squat with the band around your knees. So coming down and seeing how that feels. Okay, so you can do a squat just to the point of the chair. If you want to and you're used to, you can do deep squats. If you prefer, you can just do shallow squats and back up. Let's do 10. 1, 2. Now, with the band being around your knees, you can push out into it slightly and help to get that feedback from the band as to where you need to push to get the knees tracking over the second and third toes, rather than doing this. Okay, just look down for the final 3 and make sure that your knees are tracking over your second and third toes. Okay. Second part, down in the center, arms ready. You're coming up and punching across with your left arm in front, center, across, center, across, 10 each way. So that's 3, 4, 4. Easier option, don't go down so far into a squat, just do a little mini bend. Harder version, go right down. 2 more each way. Remembering, I know that it said this in the notes at the beginning, but make sure that you can always hold a conversation when you're doing anything that gets your heart rate up like this in pregnancy. Down into a squat position. Final part of the sequence is monster walks. So we're going to start walking forward with our right leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, tap, back, 2, 3, tap. Hands on hips or hands like this. Either way, whatever feels best for you. Just don't let your knees turn in. Back, forward, back. We're doing 6 of these, so we're halfway. Tap, back. The lower you go, the harder it is. Can anyone get down low? Last one. Tap, back. Okay, all right, we've got 3 rounds of that. Oh, that's the first round done. Have a little 30-second break. Get a drink if you need one. Then we'll do our second round. Now, there is a method to my madness here. I'm trying to fatigue your quads because we're going to do a little prep for labour sequence later, and it will work best if you can create some good, safe pain in your legs. Going to try some breathing techniques and distraction techniques that are often recommended for labour to work through muscular pain. All right, second round. You know what's coming now. 10 squats, 10 duck and punches each way, and 6 monster walks up and back. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. You can go at a different pace to me if you like. Your aim is to keep it at a level where you can still hold a conversation, okay? Talk, but not necessarily sing. That means you're in that nice moderate phase of cardio exercise, which is what's recommended to do 30 minutes of on most days in pregnancy. 2 more. Okay, Ready for the duck punch. Get down, knees not turning in. Ready, duck, punch, punch, duck, punch. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. See what my opposite foot is doing? It's not staying planted, it's tapping. 8, 8, 9. Remember, you can go not so deep or nice and deep. Last one. And stop, rest. Okay, ready for the monster walks? Get down as low as you feel comfortable doing. Let's go left leg this time. Go 1, 2, 3, tap, back. Tap, forward. Tap, back. Forward. How low can you go? If there's any pain in your pubic bone or the sacroiliac joints at the back, any of your pelvic joints doing this, don't persist. Go back to squats. This is slightly single leg loaded, no more so than walking really, but for some people who are very easily flared up, this might not be great for you. Let's do one more. Tap, back, and stop. And on that note, if things are hurting you pelvic girdle pain-wise, it's not that you should never do it, it's just that you shouldn't push through pain, and you might need to seek some physio help to work out what you can do to move differently, breathe differently, settle down any inflammation, and maybe you'll be able to work your way back to that in pregnancy, and definitely afterwards will. Okay, final round. Ready? Set. Squats, go. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Duck, punch, duck, punch, punch. 2, 3, 3, 4. This is nice because it's getting us using the glute muscles to push off in an asymmetrical way. It's preparing us for the normal load of every day where we do have to transfer weight between one side to the other. We do have to do lateral sideways movements as well as forward. Just making sure that you're not working through any bad pelvic girdle pain. If it's muscular, that's great. Let's do one more each way. Okay, into the monster walks. Set, go. Forward, tap, back. 2, tap, back. This is the last round. If you want to really challenge yourself, get down low, back. Forward, tap, back. 2 more. Forward, tap, back. And forward, tap, back. Ooh, good. Okay, take the band off, but if you've tied up a theraband, leave it tied up for later because we will need it again. Okay, while we take a little breather, we're going to do a set of standing pelvic floor exercises today, right? If you feel uncomfortable standing or at all lightheaded or anything, just sit on the ball or a chair, or you can even sit on the ground. But if you are able to stand, this is a really good functional position to do pelvic floor exercises, and sometimes we get stuck only ever doing them lying down, sitting. I know some people do it when they're sitting on the toilet after they're finished. Do it in standing sometimes. Shower is a good one. So see how it feels in standing. One hand upper tummy, one hand lower tummy. Let everything relax. Make sure posture-wise that you're not doing the common leaning back like this posture, or when you've got a new baby, check yourself with that one often. We often end up spending a lot of time like this. Not a bad thing. You need to spend small amounts of time here, but just make sure that you can move out of that position and that you're strong in other positions too. So a little bit more forward lean than that. Relax through your belly. Chin tucked in, tall from the top of your head, but keeping everything let go down here. Can you feel your pelvic floor let go? All right, now see what it feels like here. To squeeze like you're stopping wind and lifting up inside from the back passage towards the pubic bone. Hold and let it go. Let's see if we can do about 10 in a row where we do fairly quick like that. And we're focusing on lifting and letting go without gripping through our glutes. Nothing should be seen to be working here. And without gripping up here and holding our breath, the lower tummy should gently pull in and let go, but nothing else externally should move. Relax. Scooping up, drop it down. Scooping up, drop it down. Some people like to think about a jellyfish moving through the water like this. Scoop, drop. 5, let go all the way. 6, let go. 7, let go. 8, 9, and 10. And relax. Okay, just move a little bit. And then we're going to do 5 more, but these ones are going to be longer ones where you coordinate with your breath. So I'll talk you through the first 2. We'll just do 1 breath, and then we'll see for the next few how we go doing 2 breaths to hold. Okay, so just check that you're not grouping like this with your bottom already. Slightly forward lean, relax everything. Bottom shouldn't be on, tummy shouldn't be on. Okay. So from that position, gently scoop up your pelvic floor and hold it. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then let go of your pelvic floor. Can you do that? Can you hold your pelvic floor on while you breathe? Can you move this part and underneath separately to this part? It's a skill, and it's one to practice if you can't do it. Pause, scooping up, breathe in, down into your diaphragm. Breathe out, but don't let go. Now let go. Relax. I'll talk through 2 breaths if anyone can do it, but staying on 1 breath is absolutely fine. And go. Scoop up pelvic floor and then breathe in. Breathe out. Hold it on. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Release everything off. Let go. Move around a bit if you need to. Another one. Relax. Scoop up your pelvic floor gently. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. Keep it on. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. Let it go. And wait. Last one. Ready? Pause your breath while you scoop up from underneath. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. And let it go. Okay, all right, so now we've given our quads a little bit of a rest, but not too much. I want them to still be a little bit fatigued. We're going to do 60-second squats that are held, okay? 60-second held squats. All right. Like I said before, the purpose is to try and get some pain happening here in our legs that I don't for 1 second profess will replicate labour pain, but the way that it's similar is that it's a muscular overworked pain, just like labour pain is a muscle, tired muscle pain from your uterus. After contracting for such a long time, it's like that delayed on that muscle soreness from fatigue pain. So our brain knows that this is not a dangerous pain, okay? So it's not like our brain has to tell us to get out of it like if we were touching hot stove, okay? We can stay in that squat position and practice some of the breathing techniques that we've gone through before with relaxation. We can practice some distraction techniques. We can see how our body reacts and how we might be able to deal with that in a situation like labour. Or if you're having a C-section and you're really nervous about the epidural going in or something like that, there's no reason why you couldn't use some of these techniques of recognising tension and stress and having breathing or relaxation or distraction techniques to help with it. So let's go down into a squat now. I'm going to time 60 seconds from now, okay? Deeper squat is harder. All right, so as you get into that position, you will start to feel it in your quads. You'll start to feel it in your legs. I want you to start to see where you feel that tension creeping up in your body as you experience pain. Is it in your shoulders? Is it in your fingers? Are you gripping your hands? Are you gripping your teeth, your jaw? Wherever it is, undo it. Exhale it away. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through a slightly rounded mouth. Low shoulders, long soft fingers, slack jaw. Sigh out, slowly breathing. Focus on the exhale. Long soft fingers, low shoulders, slack jaw. And coming up. Oh. Okay, so now we know what we're dealing with. We've got 2 more like that. This second time, we're going to spend the first 30 seconds practicing like that with just the breathing. And then at 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you to start doing something like this on your thighs, okay? There, all around, this way, however you want to do it, rubbing even, but give some sort of other input to your thighs other than your brain just interpreting the muscle pain from that area. Ready? Down we go. Deeper squat if you want to work harder and really challenge yourself in this. 60 seconds. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through a slightly rounded mouth. Exhale away any tension that's starting to gather. And just remind yourself of that mantra. Low shoulders, long soft fingers, slack jaw. All right, stay in the squat, but I want you to give some sort of input to your thighs. Just see what you're thinking. How does that feel? And stop. Just see if there's any difference between when you do it, when you don't do it. Long soft fingers, slack jaw, exhale the tension away. And coming up. Oh my goodness, ouch. We're going to talk about that in a sec, what the physiological reasoning is behind doing that exercise of rubbing and slapping. Talk about that in a sec. But the last thing I want you to practice is distraction, some sort of a distraction, okay? You can still focus on your breathing and the mantras of relaxing all the tense spots. But this time I'm going to count out loud the 60 seconds, right? See if that, I want you to see if that helps, knowing how long is left. It might really help you, it might not. You can count along just in your head, eyes open, eyes closed. If you've got your eyes open, like I've got floorboards here, you can count floorboards one way and then back the other way, whatever you like, some sort of a counting as distraction type thing. See if it works for you. Let's go. 60 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, we're nearly there, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay, and up. Well done. All right, I want you to go over to a wall or somewhere that you've got something to lean on. Hold onto the wall with one hand, grab one leg behind you and stretch out those muscles we just used like this. And while we stretch and catch our breath, let's talk about that second one, okay? The distraction technique of putting in another input, another physical input into the muscle where the pain is coming from, or into the area of your body where the pain is coming from. Swap to the other side. Now, the scientific reason, the physiological reason behind doing that is similar to what's called the pain gate theory. So if you were to be hammering a nail and hammer your thumb by accident, what do you think you'd do with your thumb? Probably like shake it, or bite it, suck it, or hold it with your other hand really tight. Innately, you would do something to the thumb that would give a different signal to the brain to interpret, so it's not just thinking about the pain. You can hold onto the wall still if you need to, but one foot in front of the other and push back for a calf stretch. So similar thing with what we just did. You're using the thigh muscles and the pain is coming from your thigh muscles. So giving some sort of other stimulus into your thigh muscles as a way for your brain to have to think about that. And probably what you all felt and what I felt is that you don't really notice it while it's happening, but you really notice the difference when you're not using it. Now just have to think about it. Do you know in labour terms what the common pain gate type thing that is often used is? Put feet apart, bend your right knee, go over that way for a stretch. It's TENS. I don't know how many of you have heard of using TENS in labour, but TENS is a electrical stimulation. It feels like the little pinpricks that goes on your, the electrodes get stuck onto your lower back and your middle back, other way for the stretch. So they are, and it's slightly forward lean for this one too. So the electrodes are at the levels of where the nerves go to your vagina and cervix and to the uterus. Other side again. Stick your bottom out, bend the knee, bring your body weight over that side. The other leg is straight. So the thinking being that if our brain is thinking about different stimulus, like that little pinprick electrical feeling, pins and needles sort of feeling in those areas, it can't fully attend to the pain signals coming from those areas at the same time. Another one again. The research behind that, let's grab the ball now and sit on the ball for some back stretches. Have your band, both your bands nearby, just circling around. The research, there's one study that I often quote that was done on TENS in labour, and they asked women retrospectively a number of questions about using the TENS machine after they already knew they used it in labour. One of the main questions they were looking at was, would you use it again? Right elbow down, left one over, and then back to the centre and the other way. And 2/3 of women said yes, they would, and 1/3 of women said no, they wouldn't. So the reasons given for those who didn't want to use TENS again as a labour pain distraction technique was that they found it annoying, that it didn't work for them as a distraction technique. It was just irritating. But for those who used it, they said it was great to have something to focus on, something they could control and increase the intensity as they wanted to, and that it really did work to not take away the pain, but dampen down the pain. Feet together, close together, hip width apart, twist around to the right, and back to the centre, and twist the other way. Now let's talk about that third one where we were counting. Now I just counted the whole way through, but there's so many different ways that you can use counting as a technique during labour as well, during contractions or surges. You can use it, your support person can use it for you, because contractions are usually quite regular in that they're a similar length each time they come on, and then they change over time, obviously, get longer and closer together. But if somebody is there for you, your husband or someone else, partner or something else, they could be timing them and give you an idea of how long a contraction is, and then count you through it. Open and close, tuck back. And there's a sort of empowerment for a lot of people and reassurance in knowing how many seconds has gone and how many seconds is left. And for some people, like, I don't know if any of you felt this, but knowing that 60 seconds was the amount of time I was keeping you there, and knowing that you were already at 45 seconds and it was about to ease off soon, that can be a really good coping mechanism for some people. So these are just some ideas. I would absolutely recommend hypnobirthing, interlace fingers behind and open up, or a similar sort of active birth workshop, prep for labour workshop, on top of any education that the hospital that you're at is going to give you. Tuck back, interlace fingers in front, push towards me, look down. The stuff that you learn in hypnobirthing and active birth workshops is more like what I just went through. So rather than just with the hospital education, sort of learning about what's where in the hospital, what pain medication options you have through your labour, what's going to happen when the baby's born, things like that, which obviously is very important to know. But this is more like, what are some things that your birth partner can do to help you? Shoulder rolls. What are some things that, what are some different positions you can try if something's not working for you? What are some movements that might help the baby to descend into the pelvis? What are some techniques that might help to ease the pain during contractions, things like that. It's just, I would highly recommend it. And the things that I talked about today have come from a book that I read that I really liked called Birth Skills by Juju Sundin. There are definitely others similar to that too. Okay, so what we're going to do now is a leg strength and arm strength workout with the ball. So if you want extra work for your legs, which you don't have to do, but if you want to, can you put the band back around your knees now? And then can you get the other band with you in your hands? Take the ball to the back of the mat, sit on it. And we're going to do, those of you who did the week 1 workout, we're going to do similar to what we did in the week 1 workout, where we tuck under and we walk ourselves out until our head and shoulders are on the ball. So we're going to make sure that our feet are hip width apart, our knees are hip width apart. You can rest your butt on the floor if you're down, keep your ball all out. Knees are hip width apart, and the bottom of your rib cage is on the ball. Your head's rested so that you're looking up at the ceiling. Hands on your hips, and I want you to tuck your bottom under and lift yourself up to the point where your pelvis is still just below the level of your shoulders. And untuck and tuck. Okay, 8 of these. 2. And meanwhile, not letting the band bring your knees in, give the band a little bit of a push out, little subtle push out, so that you're not letting the band pull your knees inwards. And if you don't have the band around your knees, just working on keeping good alignment and not letting them turn in. Tuck it up, drop it down. The ball shouldn't really be moving backwards and forwards very much. 3 more. 1, 2. Okay, go up and hold it there. 3, push out into the band. If you've got the band, or just separate your knees slightly and pulse for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then arms up. Pull the band apart. Take it down to your thighs and overhead for 8. 2, thighs and overhead. 3, if your glutes and legs are fatigued, just drop your bottom down to the ground, and you can do this here. 5, 6, keep that tension in the band. 7, breathe through it, and 8. Okay, lowering your bottom down, just push the ball to the side for a second. Sit with straight legs. If this is not comfortable to sit like this, we're going to put the band around our feet like that. then you can bend your knees up like this. You can sit on a pillow if you want to, or you can even do this sitting cross-legged. I've got the band around my knees, so I can't cross my legs, but sitting cross-legged and doing pulls like this when I do the pulls around the feet, all right? Let's go. 8 pulls. Hold the band down close to where your feet are. Pull back. Shoulders down and back. Hold that there and just get that position with an open chest, like you're opening your collarbones and showing off a necklace. And then back. 1, pull. 2, pull. 3, 4, 5, 6, pull. 7, pull. 8, pull. All right, we're going to do 2 more rounds of that. So can you bring yourself over onto your knees and then go back onto your haunches and get yourself up like that, which I think I mentioned it in another week's video, but it's really important to be able to do that going forward in pregnancy, rather than always having to get up using one leg off the floor or not being able to get up off the floor at all. Practice it regularly, getting up with 2 legs off the floor. It decreases the pressure through the joints in your pelvis. Second round, let's go. And it also keeps your legs strong for a very important functional task for when the baby's born, which is regularly getting up off the floor with the baby in your arms, not using your arm. All right, squeeze, drop, that's 1, 2. If you don't have a ball, I should have said this before, you can do it like this. I'll show you. Keep going if you're doing that set. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it up there. Push out into the band and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, stay in the position if you're up on the ball. I'll be down here showing people who don't have the ball what to do. Arms out in front, pull apart with the band, take it overhead, 1, and then back down to your thighs, legs. 2, keep that tension pulled apart. 3, 4, you can cross your legs if you want to here, I can't, like I said before. 5, chin tucked in, 6, 7, 8. Okay, lower yourself to the ground. Set yourself up in this position with the band around your feet. Push the ball away for a sec. All right, ready? Pulls, rowing pulls. 1, 2, chin tucked in. 3, 4. Have it tight enough so that it feels like a bit of a challenge. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, getting up for the final set. So bringing yourself around onto hands and knees, pushing back, tucking toes, pushing back, and pushing yourself up. Always, if you're later in pregnancy and that is something that's a bit of a struggle, just remember exhale on the exertion. That helps to prevent extra strain down into your pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles, opening up the throat so that the pressure has a chance to escape that way, rather than always being down and out. Third round, ready? Hands on hips, or you can use this as a resistance here. 1, 2. Don't let the band pull your knees in. 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep the band pushed out slightly. 7, and hold it up there. 8. Push out into the band. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold that position, or go down if you need to. I don't want you to be feeling pain in your lower back. Pull apart with the band, overhead. 1, tap to the thighs. 2, 3, 4, bottom just slightly lower than your chest, 5, 6, 7, 8, and lowering to the ground, ball away. We actually don't need the ball anymore, I don't think. No, roll the ball right away, we don't need that. And we don't need the band around our knees. Final set here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold this last one, 8, 7, chin tucked in, pull back, feel it between your shoulder blades, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. Okay, so let's do a couple of stretches here. Just put our right leg out. Take that band that you were just using then and put it around your right foot. Pull yourself up as tall as you can get and then hinge forward as much as your belly will allow. Stick your bottom out, hinge forward. Hamstring stretch, the back of the right leg here. Right elbow down, left one over. Pulling yourself up. I think we did this one in week 1. Tap here, drop the elbow, reach, but with the band, just adds an extra bit of a help with that movement of pulling and getting down. Over, tap, over, tap, and over, tap. That leg in front, stick your bottom out, right one in front, stick your bottom out, walk your hands forward. 3, 4, and walk your hands around. 5, weight down. So you don't need to push up. Tuck the right elbow under as you go down. Mike started playing. Okay. Walking your hands, keeping your hands around to the left there to hold. Okay, and coming back to the center, and let's do those stretches on the other side. Put your left leg out, pull yourself up, leaning forward, opening your chest. Sticking your bottom out, open collarbones, left elbow down, right one over for a lovely stretch of that lower back, the muscles that attach from your rib cage to your pelvis, and then pulling up, tap. Drop the left elbow, reach, up, tap, drop, reach, up, tap. 2 more. Really take that opportunity to stretch all the way out. And then take that band off. Put the left leg in front, stick your bottom out, walk forward. So after this, we're going to get into 4-point kneeling and child pose positions. Now, I want you to have a think about, for labour, but also for the later stages of pregnancy, why these sort of positions, let's come up into 4-point kneeling, why these sort of positions like 4-point kneeling and child pose are potentially really good for you. Tuck your bottom under and stick your bottom out. Get a bit of a stretch here. Now, I don't know if you've considered this before, but these positions are positions where the baby is able to move more freely. They're also positions where the baby's heaviest part, which is their spine, is potentially going to be encouraged to go down to the front. You ideally want the baby's spine to be at the front here, not against your back. for when you go into labour. It's really not the end of the world if your baby is spine to spine when you go into labour. Let's stick our bottom out and go into child pose, which is like this with knees apart and leaning forward. You can rest your head on your forearms or on the ground. Just hold that position and focus on your breathing while I'm talking. But the thing about having that position of spine to spine is that it's a little bit harder as the baby comes down through the pelvis. You can feel more back pain, and the baby's descent can be a little bit slower because the bones of their spine have to go against the bones of the back of your pelvis. So that forward position of the baby having their spine at the front here, there's no evidence for it, but there is some expert opinion that spending time in these sort of positions and helping to open up through the pelvis, open up through the abdominal wall, let the baby have a space to move into its most comfortable position in preparation for labour is a good idea. So the other reason that this is a good position and why we're going to stay here now is because, I don't know if you can feel, but your pelvic floor is on stretch here. So if you bring your knees closer together, as much as your belly will allow, your pelvic floor isn't on as much stretch, and then as you take them out, your pelvic floor, which goes between your sit bones there, it's on more of a stretch. So it's just a bit of a challenging position to do pelvic floor. So let's do a second set. We'll do the ones where we hold for a breath. I'll do 2 where we hold for 1 breath, 2 where we hold for 2 breaths like before, but just in a different position to feel how this feels. Also with your tummy muscles in this position, you should be able to really let them go and feel relaxed. So let's focus on that first. With you down here or here. Big breath in and out, and just let everything relax. Pause your breath. Scoop up your pelvic floor and hold while you breathe in again. And while you breathe out again. And then let everything go. If that was too difficult, bring your knees a little bit closer together, or even sit up into cross-legged sitting or lie down on your side. Okay, second one. Scoop up, back passage, coming forward and up towards the pubic bone. Hold while you breathe in. Hold while you breathe out. And then release everything off and wait. I'll try 2 breaths this time. Pause your breathing while you scoop everything up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Make sure you're completely breathing out. Breathe in. Your aim is that you could be able to talk like how I am. Breathe out. And let everything go. All right, we'll do 1 more. Let your tummy relax, let your glutes go, let your pelvic floor go, and pause your breathing, scoop up again. And breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now let it go. Push yourself back up into 4 point. Now, if you could, and you can sit back on your haunches for a sec. If you can do that and coordinate all of that in a position where your pelvic floor is on stretch, you're doing a really, really good job. Remember, I think I've said before, but a big focus on prep for labour, so pregnancy, is focusing on the full relaxation and being able to be very aware of when and if you're fully relaxing. Let's just finish off with a set where we're focusing on doing some ab work in 4 point and modified side plank, and then we'll do 1 more functional exercise and finish there. Okay, so 4 point kneeling. We're going to do opposite arm and leg away from each other like this, and bringing the hand to touch the opposite knee and out. More challenging version is elbow to knee. That might not be possible in later pregnancy. An easier version is hand to knee like this without moving the leg. So we're going to start with it being the left arm and the right leg. We'll do, I'll count through 8 of those. You see what works well for you. Okay, and you do it at your own pace if you want to. So left hand, right leg. 1, 2, pushing away from the ground. If you get wrist pain, you can definitely do this down like this. Just tuck your chin in so you're not straining through your neck. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, come back, rest your wrist. Now that same side, so the right hand down, we're going to do a second set. We're going to keep our right hand on the ground and take our knees a bit wider and take the left arm up and then under for 5. 1, 2, 3, reach it right up. 4, 5, and then the final part of the sequence, if you can do this, is taking the left leg out, turning into modified side plank, and doing another round, the last 5 like that. 1, you can lift that foot off the floor, do, but this is very loaded on the pelvis, so go back to the version in 4-point if you need to. 3, tap. 4, hands should be directly under your shoulder. 5, let's go back into child pose and just rest your head on the ground to give your neck a rest. That right shoulder will have worked a lot, the muscles around your right shoulder blade. All right, and then the other way. So now we've got our left hand on the ground, our right arm out, left leg out, go tap. 1, 2, 3, push away from the ground. 4, 5. The leg doesn't need to go very high. You can actually aim to tap the toe to the ground. 7, 8. Okay, set your knees a bit wider, left hand in the center, right arm up. 1, dive it under. 2, dive it under. 3, 4, 5, and then taking the right leg out, turning to modified side plank, arm up. I didn't say on the other side, there is this version to do here if this is easier for you here. Okay, hand directly under the shoulder, foot up is the harder option, and dive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then lowering yourself down, left hip down, lowering yourself down into side lying. All right, so this final one we're going to do here is practicing getting up from lying on your side. Super functional. Those of you in later stages of pregnancy will understand why this is so functional. You need to have that strength in your arms to be able to get yourself up like that and back down again, rather than always getting up this way, which because I'm not pregnant, I can do that. But in later stages of pregnancy, you shouldn't, because the muscles are separated and they're at a mechanical disadvantage, and you also possibly can't physically do that either. Same with the early weeks postnatal while the abs are healing, okay, or a cesarean scar is healing. So let's put our right hand in front. You can use the left hand there to help if you need to, and exhale, push yourself up to this position. Okay, so the hands are both near each other and they're in a diagonal line. They're not directly here where your head was. They're like in front of where your head was. Ready? Drop the left elbow down, lower yourself down. Inhale, exhale up, and inhale down. Go at your own pace. Do about 5. Exhale each time you go up. Harder option, only use the right hand and put the left hand across your chest. After you've done 5, push yourself all the way up. Swivel. Right hand down and left hand in front of it to help, and tuck. Sorry, the left hand, the main one, was doing the job here. Tuck the right elbow under and down. Inhale, push up with mainly your left hand here. And back down. Keep going at your own pace. So this is sort of like what I was talking about with getting up and down off the floor. and practicing that as part of your workout sequence, and doing the squats, which is essentially getting up and down off a chair. If we can keep strong in those really functional movements through our pregnancy and in the early weeks after having a baby, then we are less likely to be straining and going to do one of these movements when we have to get out of bed and pushing all the way out to sitting. Okay, ear to one shoulder and ear to the other shoulder. So that's one of the big philosophies that I use with FitRight classes, and what we include in them is let's include as functional exercises as possible. We do like a deadlift movement often, which is like the movement of having to get a baby in and out of the cot, a squat to the ground and back up again. Squats, like I said, sit to stand up a chair, getting up out of bed through side lying like that. Let's do shoulder rolls when we talk. My philosophy is that if we can keep strong with regularly doing those movements and keep them being as effortless as possible, then when we have to do them in our everyday life, it's not an unaccustomed load for our body. Left arm across. Right arm across. Both arms out, left arm on top, hands together, lift up, look down. Both arms apart, right arm on top, hands together, lift up, look down. Okay, you're all done. Thanks for joining me for that one, everyone. I'll see you next time.